Now this next example, we want to step it up in difficulty just a little bit. We don't want to square both sides right now because if we squared both sides right now, we see that we have two terms over here, and we end up getting a middle term, and that middle term would still have a radical in it. And so that's not a good thing. So whenever possible, we want to get the radical by itself, and that way when we square both sides, the radical goes away. So let's go ahead and subtract the 2 to the other side. Now we'll square both sides. Now we're again going to make our note to ourselves that because we squared both sides, we better check any answers that we get. Now the left-hand side, we're squaring a square root. So we get 4 minus x, we just get the stuff underneath. But the right-hand side, we're squaring a binomial. So you either need to FOIL this out or use your formula for a squared plus 2ab plus b squared. Now what you have is a quadratic equation. You have an x squared equation. To solve a quadratic equation, we get everything to one side so that the other side is 0, and then we factor. So we're going to add an x to the other side, and we're going to subtract 4 from both sides, making both 4's go away, and leaving just 0 there on the left. So now to factor this, we're going to factor out the greatest common factor of x, and then set each factor equal to 0, giving me x equals 0 or x minus 3 equals 0. And this gives me my two potential solutions of 0 and 3. We need to check both of these solutions back in the original, though. So let's go ahead and test x equals 0 first. And that's going to give me the square root of 4 minus 0 plus 2 is supposed to equal 0. Square root of 4 plus 2 is supposed to equal 0. 2 plus 2 equals 0. 2 plus 2 does not equal 0. So that means x does not equal 0. That's not one of my solutions. I need to throw that out. But let's test x equals 3 and see if it works. So when we test x equals 3 back in the original, we got the square root of 4 minus 3. We're going to add 2 to that, and we're going to see if we get 3. So that's the square root of 1 plus 2 is supposed to equal 3, or 1 plus 2 equals 3. That looks to be true. And so x equals 3 is the only answer that we report here. We're not going to say x equals 3 and no solution or anything weird like that. We just have one answer. The other one just didn't work. So we threw it out.